Have you ever gotten a God wink before? You know that is some there that is an instance where something happened. You were in the right place at the right time, or you just happened to come across this YouTube video in your feed, or this you were just scrolling through TikTok and this one really encouraging video came up, or someone just gave you a word of counsel that you really needed to hear at that moment. That is what I call a God wink. And it's basically like it's a sign, or it's a confirmation. Just like, you asked God for something, and there's like a little tiny sign. And like, for example, I've been asking God for just encouragement for 7 whole months on a relationship in my life that He's gonna restore. Just a friendship that was broken, and I really do care about this friend of mine. So I've been asking God for signs that He would restore it, and He's given me little signs, like, but in the craziest ways. I opened a fortune cookie the other night. Of all the ways God could speak, my mom ordered Chinese food, and it was really good. And I usually don't look to fortune cookies. Sometimes I'll open them just for fun, but like I don't look to fortune spirits or that kind of power. I believe there's one power, one prophecy giver, and that is God. But sometimes I'll open them up, and I'm not a huge fan of the cookies themselves. They're really crunchy and gross, so we usually just throw them out. But this one fortune cookie was just sitting on the counter for like days on end, and I was like, why is this here still? Like, is someone gonna eat this? And the crazy thing is that there were 5 fortune cookies. 4 of them got thrown out, and there was just this one there. So I decided to just open it up, and I was like, what if I see something encouraging? What if God speaks to me through this? I just have this childlike faith. I know God can speak through anything, and I know all things are possible with God. So I open up this fortune cookie, and lo and behold, what it says on it is, this relationship will flourish in no time. That was amazing. And I knew that was what I call a God wink. It's kind of just like, hey, yeah, I'm answering your prayer. Or like, you end up in the right place at the right time. Somebody gives you a word of counsel that you literally needed to hear in that moment. Or someone is here, you're here, you need a blessing. Like, I believe God's blessed me in other ways too. Like, I've been in grocery stores, and I realized I did not have sufficient funds to pay for everything that I was purchasing. And really generous people behind me, just they end up paying for it, and I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Generosity, just when I needed it, and I want to return the favor. So, yeah, I just wanted to put this out there, sharing this faith as a testimony that if God can speak to me on so many different things, if I can hear from God, you can hear from God. The word testimony literally means do it again. And how do we hear from God? Like, how do we hear a spoken word from God? Like, when we really want to hear from Him? Well, His word. Sometimes I've opened the Bible and I end up on a specific verse that I needed in that moment. I didn't try and purposely go somewhere. I just kind of opened my Bible, like whatever, and God had me in the right place. So that's an example. Another thing you gotta do is you gotta ask God, and then you gotta wait expectantly. Psalms 5, a psalm of David. David says, "In the morning, Lord, I pray, and I wait expectantly for your answer." Habakkuk chapter 2, the prophet Habakkuk, he prays and he waits on the watchtower. He waits there. He's literally waiting. His eyes are focused on hearing a revelation, a spoken word from God. And those who wait on God will hear Him. Like, He will speak to you, whether God can speak to people audibly, God can speak to people through other people. He can speak to you where it's just like you have a thought or something just on your heart, and you know it's from Him. It lines up with His word. God can speak to anybody, and just watch out for those little signs, those little God winks. And You're in a really tough situation, but you listen for him and he will get your attention. He will speak to you. Just wait expectantly. With God, all things are possible. Love you guys.